bowl season is here. Moving on to Wednesday, the 28th. Starting us off in the Military Bowl, we got UCF taking on Duke. Seeing the Blue Devils here is a 3.5-point favorite, and total's in the low 60s. Seeing it right now at 62, 62.5. I throughout the season thought, good start for Duke, feel a good story with Mike Elko, but at some point, probably going to come back down to earth. Quite frankly, this is just a good football team. Went 8-4 in Mike Elko's first year, exceeded everybody's expectations, including mine. I thought this was going to be a 3-9 kind of team. Throughout the year, though, we saw repeatable success and repeatable methods to success that I think could carry over into this game. They're very experienced along their offensive line. Plus, Riley Leonard, their quarterback, dual threat guy, not a world beater through the air, but takes care of the football, over 5 yards per carry as a runner. I still don't love that defense, but, I think offensively, at least, they run the ball well enough, got some multiplicity, and, they're pretty solid up front. So not hard to see why Duke had a strong 8-4 season. Where I have trouble in this matchup, I have no idea what we're going to get from UCF's defense. We've seen them actually step up pretty well at times this year, but they're towards the end of the season. You remember that last week, they had to beat South Florida to get into the AAC championship, gave up 39 points to a really depleted South Florida team. So, that was kind of the first red flag. And then in that American Athletic Championship game, got absolutely thrashed by Tulane. They were getting beat in the secondary, couldn't stop the run. So this defense really kind of deteriorated towards the end of the season. I'd actually liked that secondary for much of the season. And then towards the end, it just kind of went to what. So I don't really know what kind of performance we're going to get from UCF here. Another big element to this game, John Rice Plumlee, UCF's quarterback. He's actually very similar to Leonard in a lot of areas. Also a dual threat guy. Probably has a little bit more explosion in the run game. He actually exceeded my expectations as a passer this year. So I think it could be a pretty even matchup as far as quarterback play goes. The issue is health. He had to come out of that AAC championship game. I think he should play with all this time off, but had a hamstring injury throughout the season. Seems to have never really healed. So that's something that you have to be aware of. And why? Well, UCF's other quarterback with experience, Mikey Keene, he's in the portal. So UCF really can't afford to not have Rice Plumlee. And, with him not being at 100%, I think that's something that you do have to, keep tabs on. I think UCF is solid in the run game. Not really sure why they use Isaiah Bowser as much as they do, because they do have Harvey, who's much more of a home run hitting threat from that position. Like I said, I don't love this Duke defense. With that said, I actually think they can match up okay in the run game. But if Rice Plumlee is able to get acclimated as a runner, think that's going to open up some one-on-one opportunities down the field that quite frankly I wouldn't want to trust Duke in. Suffice to say, this is a tough game. I think this is actually a pretty evenly matched game. I would lean with Duke because I do still worry about John Rice Plumlee's health and just what we saw from that UCF defense later in the year. Not very encouraging. And, seeing that back-to-back weeks from that secondary, definitely have to downgrade that unit quite a bit. Still, don't feel good enough about playing this at 3.5. If it was closer to a pick, if it was, Duke -1, Duke pick, probably would be a lot more interested in that. But as far as the total, I'm kind of conflicted. I think Duke is an efficient offense, not necessarily explosive. And once again, what kind of effort are we going to get from UCF's defense? Really have no idea. Not having that feel on that side of the matchup. Don't really know how to approach this total. Ultimately, I'm not going to have an official play on this game. I'm really interested to watch for a variety of reasons, but no play for me.